Christmas lights. How many light bulbs do you need to make the holidays happy? My mother thought a string of 12 large ones sufficient, the same string used to brighten her English childhood home at Christmas time. I thought it should be more, way more. I wanted lights like ones I'd seen in other homes, ones with delicate bulbs set in plastic florets, ones with tinsel surrounds that dazzled and glistened, strings of 20 bulbs, or even 40, like I'd counted on other people's Christmas trees. Better still, multiple strings, including bulbs that bubble. But a string of 12 is what we had, and what was used to light our tree, despite me badgering for more. Mum was in charge of Christmas. She organised everything and made sure no one felt left out or forgotten. Preparation started in the autumn with the baking of fruitcakes and puddings. Dad was responsible for getting a tree, setting it in a container and situating it in our living room to the left of our black and white TV, not in the window recess to the right of the TV where I thought it would look great and it could be seen from outside. Such placement was deemed too showy. Okay for others, like our neighbours across the road, but not us. We were private people. We always drew our curtains at dusk. For 50 weeks of the year, our Christmas decorations sat in a cardboard box on top of Dad's wardrobe. Contained with the lights were spare bulbs, baubles, tinsel, crepe paper streamers, plus a Christmas fairy or two. After placement of the lights, my siblings and I got to decorate the tree. The hanging of Christmas chocolates, apt to go missing, was held back until Christmas Eve. One year, my siblings and I discovered a special bulb in the box. When swapped for the first bulb in our string, it caused the lights to switch on and off. To say the lights flashed would be an exaggeration. It was the slowest on, off, on. You can imagine. But when you live on a small village farm and yearn for flashing lights, you take what you can get. A lane flash is better than no flash. I petitioned hard to keep the bulb permanently installed. Mum, please can we keep the flasher, please? But Mum said flashing lights gave her a headache and affected her nerves. The bulb was returned to the Christmas box, but I never forgot it was there. The top of the tree is where Mum focused her attention. It was there she placed a fairy each year, though not always the one from the previous year. I don't know if she assessed that last year's was no longer up for the job, or she simply fancied a change. A fairy that was selected for a consecutive year was apt to get a makeover, thus providing Mum an opportunity to employ her dressmaking skills on a miniature scale. Though we were a family of 5, a 6th person was thought to lurk in our midst. His name was Mr. Nobody. Not surprisingly, we never caught a glimpse of Mr. Nobody. He's the person my father assumed was the culprit for any misdeeds neither my siblings nor I took responsibility for. For instance, when no one owned up to eating all the chocolates hanging from the Christmas tree, Dad concluded, "Oh, I suppose it was Mr. Nobody." When someone reinserted the flasher in the string of lights, I guess it was Mr. Nobody. Christmas wasn't the same after Mum left. Banished by my father. banished by my father the day he discovered she was having an affair. For a few years, we followed the traditions, rules, and Christmas tree ritual that she set in place, but the innocence of the world I grew up in was gone. The Christmas prior to Mum's departure, she placed a tinsel star at the top of our tree instead of a fairy. It was placed there each year thereafter. Decades later, when my siblings and I cleared my father's house, I thought we might come across the box of decorations, but did not. I did, however, find a partially filled notepad with Mum's writing in it. Contained within was a list of friends, relatives, and neighbours, most long deceased. Jotted alongside each name was her idea for their Christmas gift. Seeing the list reminded me how hard Mum worked with a tight budget to make Christmas time special for all. As an adult, I have avoided establishing any form of Christmas tradition. A part of me knows that to do so invites risk that someday it may go away. This year, my partner Dan and I cut a Christmas tree with our young friend Frank, who was visiting from China. Dan refers to him as John's adopted son. Later, we decorated the tree with vintage lights reminiscent of Mum's string of 12. Crazy though it may sound, we have a whopping 72 bulbs. And the tree is proudly displayed on the porch, outside our living room window, for all to see. Who knows, maybe next year the lights will flash.